guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, our topic is we are going to be solving inequalities. So first, let's see what inequalities actually are. So these are a relationship between two expressions that are not equal. So we did equations where we used the equal sign to represent that it is an equation, because if it's equal, those two expressions are equal. However, the inequalities, we have two expressions which are not equal. So we don't use the sign equal, because that will mean that it's not an inequality. Instead, it will be an equation. So we use what symbols we use mostly in inequalities are greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. So these are the four symbols that we mostly use for inequalities. So now let's move on to our first question. So here we have our first question. It says, on the airline that John is using, the weight limit for both suitcases combined is 50 pounds. How much can John's second bag weigh without going over the limit? So we also have the first bag's weight, which is 38 pounds. We have the weight limit, which is 50 pounds. And now we have to find what does the second bag weigh. So now we have to first create an inequality, and then we're going to solve it. So we have to see that the weight of first bag, we have to add it to the weight of second bag and make sure it is less than or equal to the weight limit, which is 50. So we will have the weight of first bag plus the second bag's weight, and we're going to make sure that it is less than or equal to the bag weight limit, which is, we are going to first write that weight limit. Now we can replace these with numbers. So weight of first bag we know is 38 pounds. So 38 plus, however we don't know the weight of the second bag, so we can use a variable to present it, such as b. And we are going to bring the sign down. We know the weight limit is 50. So this is going to be our inequality. Now we can solve it to find the value of b to make sure that the both bags combined weight is less than or equal to 50 pounds. So first, what we have to do, we have to first isolate the variable. So we have to subtract 38 from both sides to make sure that we have the variable b here only. So we are going to subtract 38. Subtract 38, we will have b is less than or equal to, and 50 subtract 38 is going to give us 12. And we have the value here. So what this inequality means is that the second bag's weight should be 12 pounds or less than 12 pounds. It cannot be more than 12 pounds, because if it's more than 12 pounds, then the weight limit is going to exceed the weight limit, which we don't want. We have to make sure that it's equal to or under or less than the weight limit. So our answer for the first question is going to be b is less than or equal to 12 pounds. So that is how we solve inequalities. So now let's move on and do a few other questions. So here we have our second question. We have now the two questions that we are going to do right now are both written questions, so we don't have to create an inequality first. We have an inequality already, we just have to solve it. So let's see how we can solve these two inequalities. So the second question says t subtracts 7.5 or t minus 7.5 is greater than or equal to negative 12.5. So as we did in the last question, we are going to first make sure that the variable is by itself, and here the variable is t. So we're going to do the inverse operation of negative 7.5, which is going to be plus 7.5. So plus 7.5 and plus 7.5. So now what we will have left here is t is greater than or equal to, and negative 12.5 plus 7.5 is going to give us negative 5. So that's going to be the answer to our second inequality. It means that t has to be greater than negative 5, meaning it can be negative 5 or equal to. So we have to make sure it is greater or it can be equal to negative 5. So it can be negative 5 to make the equation true, or it can be greater than negative 5, meaning negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, and so on to make the equation, to make the inequality true. So if we put negative 5 here, we can make sure if we got the right answer. So negative 5 subtract 7.5 is greater than or equal to negative 12.5. So negative 5 subtract 7.5 is going to give us negative 12.5, which makes the equation true because we have not only greater than, we also have the equal sign here, right? So greater than or equal to, so negative 12.5 is greater than or equal to negative 12.5. So that means that our answer here is correct. So now let's move on to our last question. It says x subtract 1/2 is less than negative 2/3. Here we have the question in a fraction form. So what we can do here is we have to make sure we isolate the variable as we did in the other question. So we are going to add 1/2 to both sides. And then we are going to get our answer, which is going to be negative 2/3 plus 1/2 is going to give us negative 1/6. So that's going to be our x value. So now, notice how we don't have the equal sign here under this, meaning that the x has to be less than negative 1/6. It cannot be equal to 1/6 here. It has to be less than negative 1/6. So that's going to be our answer for this third question, which is x is less than negative 1/6. So that's it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you get the notification every time we put a video comes out.